exactly is the definition of quality in creativity? I think that is the issue that we're facing right now.
So these are incredibly interesting times, to say the least. Times filled with trouble and strife and crisis all over the world. Our cities are suffering, industries are suffering, people are suffering. Yet, out of this, throughout my conversations with different people from different walks of life, different industries, and different cultures, there seems to be one idea that is surfacing, and that is, more than ever, creativity needs to be at the center of our life. Creativity needs to be nurtured in everyone in order to solve some of these problems. And I don't mean creativity in terms of art and music and design only, although those are important, but how do we get an entire generation, an entire industry, and an entire culture to really embrace creativity?
And I think that we will prevail, but not if we let our guard down, not if we don't sharpen our skills, not if we don't become better at the craft.
The question of what inspires me is something I'm asked a lot. My answer changes by day. Well, my parents had a lot to do with my career, actually, even though they were not college educated. The sacrifices they and their parents have made has a lot to do with where I am today. My father's parents, who were pressured, unfortunately, to both of them to commit suicide due to the pressure. Now, remember, the revolution had just happened, and on the official list of enemies, number 6 on the enemies list were landowners, and they were landowners. I grew up in Columbus, Ohio, son of immigrants. My father came when he was 12 by himself from China. He served in the military, served in World War II, and went back to China to marry my mom. And so he settled in Columbus, Ohio, where I was born. And he and mom worked in a laundry. My parents went through a lot of struggles, a lot of heartache, suffered some indignities from all around, from society. And that kind of made my foundation. And it gave me a sense of toughness, but it also gave me a lot of curiosity as well. So I didn't speak English until I was about 6. I learned, of all things, by watching car commercials on television.
There's a Chevrolet dealer for your Chevrolet car. See the USA in your Chevrolet.
Watching those commercials and identifying those names, and which is, there's so much irony in that. When you come from very little, your sense of pride is, I want to do well. Going to Ohio State University, discovering visual communications and graphic design was through a great friend, high school friend named Will Shively. I had no idea what those things were. I didn't study art in high school. So he introduced me to it, and lo and behold, this program was just beginning in its first year, and it was filled with teachers of the Swiss school, from England, from Germany. So that was the great thing. The bad thing was that in 4 years of college, I spent all that time with 2 typefaces, Helvetica and Universe. That was it. And when I arrived in New York, it was an explosion. Oh my God, there's more typefaces than these 2, you know? So my venture to New York City started like this. I would take Esquire and GQ and other magazines and clip out all the ads and put them in my notebook. I'm going there. So I'm struggling to find something after school, after graduation, and I get an invite to join a small publication in New York City, a social change magazine, a newspaper, and they had no staff, visual staff. So lo and behold, my first title was art director. And talk about influence. I met a gentleman named Raymond Waits at a magazine for the United Church of Christ, of all places. So I start freelancing for him as well. He makes a major jump from these little magazines to become the first creative director for Design Research, the fabulous design house in Boston that brought Scandinavian design to America. throughout my career, I've been able to make these lateral jumps from magazines to Bloomingdale's to Wieden and Kennedy without ever having to, they were not even horizontal jumps. I was able to move up as well. I learned that from Raymond. I moved around to small magazines, and James Traub, Jimmy Traub, the son of the famous CEO of Bloomingdale's, was a writer, an editor at MBA Communications. Jimmy, who does the creative work for Bloomingdale's? Who does the work? Do they have an agency? Is it in-house? Who is it? And he said, well, it's run by a gentleman named Gordon Cook. But let me introduce you to my father and let's see if maybe they'd be interested in speaking with you. So with no experience, I'm brought in. Soon, I worked my ass off and I'm made creative director. We were the largest advertiser in the New York Times. We owned page 5, the first right-hand advertising position. We had often the center spread, the inside, back, and left, and the back page. So I was creating these stories. So one of the things I'm most proud of at that time is the conceptual storytelling that I made out of the fashion stories that we made and design stories.
One of my examples of participating in a cultural storm was the greatest promotion in the history of American retail. The title of the campaign was Heralding the Dawn of a New Era. This was China opening itself up to the world, and we were able to bring that to the world. Bloomingdale's gave me the platform to work with the best people in the world. I mean, all of these people that I used to read about and dream about.
But it was never enough. It was just not enough. I love architecture. I love contemporary art. I love sculpture. I love film. Everything. I'm constantly looking for inspiration. And in order to do that, I have to inspire myself. And that's my job, is to go meet the most interesting people in the world. That's what I wish to do.
I wrote myself a brief, and it was simply go wherever you can do the best work of your life.
When I met Dan for the first time was at the San Francisco Art Directors Club. The stuff that Wieden was doing was not advertising per se. It was something else.
You know it's gonna be all right.
Morris Blackman here, my main man, Michael Jordan.
So I went to Portland. My first day in the agency was my first day in the office.
First off today, what we want to talk about is an evolutionary experiment with probably one of the most talented people in our industry. I'm talking about John Jay. I hope you guys like change.
I would say certainly what they now call City Attack is amongst my most important work that I've achieved, that I'm proud of for Nike and for Wieden, because it was more than a campaign.
You wake up in the morning, get the ball.
Stuff like basketball, man.
Dribble, you shoot
Competition,
fast,
hard
slow,
running.
like they just straight up
Play
lost
all
it.
day long. He's my size. I'm a cook him.
What happened on that campaign is Phil Knight called and says, my son tells me that we're losing relevance in the streets of New York. And Dan said, well, my friend from New York just moved here this week. Let me talk to John Jay about it. A lot of amazing things happened. Shocked me by making me a partner after very few short years. And then we decide to open in Japan. Dan takes me aside and he says, do me a favor, John. Make this office the hothouse of the agency. And remember how powerful Portland was and how influential Amsterdam was. You become the hothouse. You become the lab of inspiration and experimentation for us. You do work that none of us can make. That was my brief from him. We have to remember, no one knew who the hell Wieden was in Tokyo. I had to start from zero there to build a culture, to build a different kind of agency there. So we built that one by one person at a time. The work that we did for Nike, for Presto, and for all the Nike work was so related to the music industry. I used music as such a strong part of our creative approach that the music industry then came and said, John, you need to open your own music label. So that helped to make the Wieden office really, really special. The next office was Shanghai. I opened the office, no clients. no clients there. An amazing office because there was no real advertising talent. We just built it out of young people. Every office that I've built is a place that is about networking the most important people, the most interesting people. Diane van Furstenberg introduces me to John Elkann in Tokyo. And I know who he is. He is from the famous Agnelli family of Italy, the royalty.
So they own Fiat and Ferrari.
Fiat negotiates with the US government to take over Chrysler. And so he emails me, my family's going to negotiate to take Chrysler. Would you be interested in talking? Fast forward, there's a brief for the Super Bowl.
It was that very fateful email that you sent to me years ago, where you said, I believe my family is considering a relationship with Chrysler in America. Would you be interested in having a meeting? That was the email. And that's what touched everything off. And that's what made me go to Detroit with the team.
What does a town that's been to hell and back know about the finer things in life? Well, I'll tell you, more than most. You see, it's the hottest fires that make the hardest steel.
Do you even remember what we did? Do you remember the commercial that we created?
I remember it really well. It was a very powerful commercial. And it was a very important moment to show that Chrysler was back, that Detroit was back, that America was back.
There was a meeting. We were getting a little nervous, so we called a meeting with the creative director, Joe Staples. We said, can you give us an update? Can you give us any progress report on this Chrysler project? And he says, well, Dan and John, I'm sorry, I don't have much to share with you. We haven't made much progress. We are brainstorming like crazy, but we don't have anything much to really share with you. And Dan and I were quite disappointed. And he says, the only thing I can show you is I have this little thing. And he took out of his pocket a little piece of paper. And written on the piece of paper, it said, Dan and I looked at each other, our eyes got really big, and we go, that's it. Go. Take that and make magic with it.
The team made it happen. Legendary work.
This is the Motor City. And this is what we do.
The Uniqlo brand became a part of the Wieden+Kennedy client base when I was searching for my first Japanese client. And they had no stores in Tokyo. So this is not like I'm walking into this glamorous new big brand. They had no stores in Tokyo. And the first work the team did was for we call it the Fleece campaign. And it catapulted them to huge rock stardom. And fast forward, 15 years later, the founder says, I'd love to see you. He flies the jet there. Mr. Yanai said, how can you help us become a more global company? We're clearly rooted in Tokyo. You have experience around the world. Why don't you become president of Global Creative for me? My job today is to create the highest quality of experiences for the greatest number of people on Earth. That could be a hang tag, to a store, to an exhibition, to an article of clothing, anything. We have a philosophy. The name of that philosophy is LifeWear. One word, cap L, cap W. Our inspiration does not come from the runways of Paris or Milan. Our inspiration comes from people.
What makes life better? I think being kind should be normal.
And I think memories are some of the fabric of life.
That's what's exciting.
For us, it starts with, if I can make a shirt that you covet and you will wear for 5 years, or a sweater that you don't throw away for a decade, that is the beginning point of sustainability. Never do we ever think about making disposable clothing. Never. So we are major supporters of MoMA. the Tate Modern, the Boston Museum of Fine Arts, and the Louvre. Through those relationships, we're able to open up MoMA free for New Yorkers every Friday night. We open the Tate. We create a new program for the Tate to invite families, people of color, people of lower income means, to bring a real democracy to art. That opportunity to work with different cultures and understand how different people are attempting to solve similar problems is a godsend. I mean, it's an extraordinary education for me right now. That is the power of creativity, and that's where we have an opportunity to go. I always say, if you are a manager or a director, or your first job is to inspire. Your job is not about you. The first thing about being a creative director, it's no longer about you. It's about inspiring all those around you. Make everyone better. So collectively, we're better. I've had the good fortune of working for people who did that for me. I have had the opportunity to travel and work all over the world because of those people. So I'm blessed by the shoulders that I've stood on and the people who carried me here. As a creative person, it's your job to stay current. It's your job to stay current. It's your job to make sure you look outside of your own silos. And so that curiosity has always been within me. But I also have been given a lot of latitude and a lot of freedom to explore those curiosities. The most important work for me are the offices that I've built around the world. Being able to put an organization together of diverse human beings who think differently to do great work is proof for me that working together in person is still the most valuable thing that we can do. My wife, Janet, who's been my partner for a long time now, incredibly sophisticated visually, culturally, and is a great sounding board for me. We've grown to understand that you have a point of view, I have a point of view, we need to respect each other's point of view, and then now we have a unique point of view together. I personally have learned and changed a lot in the past year. And I've gotten more philosophical because I lost my son. Now you ask questions. What's important to you in life? He built communities to help young artists.
I currently run an artist residency program here in Portland, which hosts a group of young art students and emerging artists every year in the summertime to do an art studio residency.
The values that my son Matt taught me can grow within me and become even more important, and to take his vision to affect others to a greater height, to more places, and to affect more people. Suddenly, that legacy, the continuation of that legacy, and why I'm so involved in contemporary art today and with young people, helps to begin to answer at my late stage that question of why do I exist? You know, I've had a long career, one that I'm incredibly thankful for. But the truth of the matter is, I'm just getting started. Everything else has been a warm-up for me. It's been a rehearsal. This time, it's going to be with purpose. I'm just beginning.